friends, hello and welcome back. Hope everyone is having a lovely day. We are down to the St. Louis Blues on our 1-year Stanley Cup or bust rebuilds. We're going to go ahead and take a quick peek. It's always fun. I want to go contracts. I want to go ahead and line. Let's look at the contracts. I like to see what kind of cap space we're going with. So none. 1.105 on the cap space. The Blues, interesting situation. Are they? Well, I don't believe they're a playoff contender in this game, right? Interesting situation where we're playing all this money. I guess when you're playing Big Bob Thomas, you good player though, $8 million a year. Perico's getting 6, Shen's getting 6, Justin Falk's getting 6. I mean, they have a solid team. Krug's getting 6, Buchnevich is getting 5. Brandon Saad's the one that's killing him. They're paying him $4.5 million. I mean, he's got decent overall, I guess. $4 million for Nick Leddy, that's too much. 3.5 for Kevin Hayes, pretty good deal there. Scandella 3.2. It looks like some of the defense, and that's going to happen, right? When you start signing some veteran defensemen, it's going to cost you a little bit more. Then Verana's same situation there. That cost them a little bit. I don't know what it is, but I'm biting the ear right now. I'm really biting it. Something about the second we started doing these videos, I got to yawn. I yawned like 4 times in the last video. He does trying to stop, and I was like, I didn't get time to talk to him. People always tell me when I yawn, they don't understand a word I'm saying, which is funny because when I do it, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but when I do it, it's like everything coming out of my mouth makes sense. Like I hear it all. It all makes sense. People are like, what? Nonetheless, let's take a look at this offense. We have Bob Thomas, Jordan Kyrou. I like calling him Bob. His name's Robert. Buchnevich on the first line. So pretty solid first line. Not big on the chemistry there. Braden Shen, Kevin Hayes, Jacob Verana on the second line. And we have Saad Sundqvist. What is Saad's a 2-way forward, right? Yeah. And then there's Sundqvist and there's Kapanen. And neighborhood, Jake the neighborhood State Farm guy. I like that. That's a great name. That's a fantastic name. Nikita Alexandrov, and then Sammy Blais. And it looks like again a little bit of depth action could be taking part here. Really, we need is Verana? He's a sniper. That's gonna kill us. That's tough because I honestly don't want Verana there. So that's gonna be a bit of a problem. And Braden Shen does. Braden Shen take draws. Is he the better option than Kevin Hayes? He's got a 81 faceoffs. Hayes 77. See, I was thinking that. And then Thomas. How's Thomas looking to draws? Thomas is 80. So no dominant center play, it looks like, from a faceoff perspective on his team. But hopefully we can make that work still. Looking on the defense, Scandella's a first unit guy. I mean, for that money, he should be. I mean, that's the situation this team's in. They need a top defenseman. Nick Leddy can go. Scandella and Nick Leddy both can go, honestly. That's where the cap space is going to come from. Nick Leddy's going to have to go. He's just too much. And then offensively, again, I'm thinking, I mean, we could move on from Verana. 2.6. We could move on from Verana, I think. But Brandon Saad's contract's hurting us, too. There's so many guys getting paid such big bucks on this team. I'm thinking... What's the first line look like? Playmaker. Oh, there's 3 playmakers in the first unit. So it would be nice to get, if possible. I mean, if we could get a top line guy, they need a goal scorer on that unit. That's the issue they're running with here. And Verana's not going to upgrade that line in any way. He's kind of blunt in the middle when it comes to the chemistry of this team. I'm stuck. I'm really stuck in a direction to go with this team. I think we have to get... I warned you. It's funny. All day. Not a problem. Start recording this bit. All right. We just sleepy a little bit. I'm thinking, it's killing me to put one of these guys in a second unit. It is. How do these guys look? Who wants to be a second unit guy? Any of these guys? No. Everybody's got the same chemistry, interestingly enough. How much does it impact changing the coaches these days? I would say if we put Kyrou here, and then we get a new first line. So the thing is, again, Verana's going to have to go. Because Verana can't be on the third line. What kind of trade value can we get for Verana is the question. I think we start with Brandon. See, if it wasn't for the 4.5. If it wasn't for 4.5 on Brandon Saad, we could talk about keeping him. But he's too expensive. We're going to see if we can find somebody on a cheaper deal. Maybe similar overall. Like McTavish is too expensive. That's too expensive. Is there anybody out there in the range? 1.14 is not bad. That's a defenseman. It is bad. That's a problem. A little bit of a problem. 1.9, 1.2. That's nice. That's a defenseman as well. But no, let's take a look here. Arizona's got some players. He wants to be a first line D man. That's a problem. That's a big problem. If we can piece together a couple players in one of these teams, trying to find a team where we can do a little double up action here. It's not going to happen here in Boston, Buffalo. Owen Power doesn't have as much trade value as you would think in this game. They're willing to do a lot of their expensive guys, as you'd expect with a young team like that, trying to make some moves. I mean, we can bring in Peter Rica, and we could bring in Jack Quinn, sniper Jack Quinn. Yeah, that's what I thought. Jack Quinn's a sniper. So that's not going to work. We can bring in Krebs. Krebs is a playmaker. That's not going to work as well. Okposo is way too expensive. I ain't seen a lot of action here. How's Patrica look? He is a two-way forward, 80 shot blocking, 67. Doesn't really fit on any line. I don't know if anybody's going to fit on these lines. It seems like we have a coach whose line chemistry just isn't there. I can't believe Dylan Cousins gets $7 million a year. Good for him. Let's go to another team. Let's look at Carolina. Carolina's going to be expensive. Let's look at, was we just on Carolina? Yeah. Let's go look at Calgary. My mistake. Let's look at Calgary. They might be expensive too. They got a lot of older players. Yeah, let's look at Carolina just in case. I'm assuming Carolina ain't got it, but they do have a team. Just like everybody else in NHL, they do have a team. Seth Jarvis, what is he as a sniper too? That's tough. A lot of these snipers in that range. And that's kind of what you expect, right? You get a lot of these younger guys. They haven't really proven themselves as much defensively. They're kind of, for that reason, not as easy to find the cheap contracts for these type of players. Radish, he wants to be on the fourth line. He does sit on the fourth line. That's one player. I don't know if I want to pay $2 million. Reichel. He's expensive because he's young. I mean, that's a price. He's a two-way forward. He wants to be on the fourth line. I mean, we're trying to get an entire fourth line here at this point. We're going to pick up Reichel. We're going to pick up him. Let's will and deal here. And they're willing to take Brandon Saad's contract on for that. We're giving up a little more than, or they're giving up a little more than we're receiving. We're going to set that. That ain't about it. Kind of trade value we got over here, St. Louis. Talk to me. We have Ovorsky. That's a pretty decent contract. They got some decent players to trade here, so that's something to work with. Their first round draft pick holds a little value. We're going to give them a second. I mean, I think that's plenty fair. EA says, nah, it's not actually. It's not fair at all. We're going to give you a third. Trade accepted. That'll work perfect. Assistant GM best lines. We're going to do that for now because we're not done here. We're trying. I mean, that's an upgrade for the bottom unit. I kind of like going that direction, make a couple of trades there. But we need to find some solid players. Do we go to the... I'm still looking for Saad's replacement, actually. So where do we go with that? Tatarro wouldn't be a bad one, I don't think. How's Tatarro? He's a sniper still. So that wouldn't work as well. Manson. I mean, I'd like to spend a little bit more if we can. Goudreau would be a great... He's $9 million a year. That is not that great. Especially as a playmaker. Patrick Laine wouldn't be bad. He's $8 million a year as well. That's tough. That's tough to come across. Doesn't really fit on the team. Again, a lot of these guys don't really fit on the team. That's kind of the problem we're running into here. Boone Jenner's still kind of expensive. Ken Johnson, he's got so much trade value. Of course he does. Peak, the Boquist, Angelo Marchenko. He's a sniper though. Hexier is not too shabby. He fits in a fourth line. And Tilly, we're off from Columbus. Yeah, that's my team, and I got a little distracted in there. I had to look to see how we was doing. Johnston, that's a good pickup. Everybody's shot blocking so weak for some reason, but I like Johnston. We had Johnston. We could potentially add, now we can't add Sam Stowe. Do they have a defenseman we can have? There's a cheaper defenseman, defense pairing unit one. The way it's looking, we're having a really hard time finding players that fit this scheme. Harley's a little more expensive. Everybody wants to play in the first line. That's really the only place we have for these guys. So we're going to do this trade here. We're going to look at some defensemen. Who was our defenseman that was expensive? Scandella is one of those guys. Scandella can go for 3.2. He's out the door. And then we're going to go ahead. We're going to be over the skater limit. Dallas are more than, they'd be over the, they're over the cap. Dallas. That's tough. Barely. I don't think we can. That's the sounds you make when you don't want to retain a cap. Barely. You should take that trade straight up because we retain some cap. That's how that'll work for the roles reverse, right? Come on, EA. Come on. Think about it. Give it a little thought. We're gonna go a second. We're gonna go 2 seconds. I ain't gonna play with these guys. We'll go 2 seconds. I'm gonna send that over. Oh, okay. They said they want to play a little bit. They would like to play a little bit. We need to before we keep updating the depth here, we really need to go out and do something about this first line player we want. Scandella. E8. This is a lot. This is getting to be a lot. This is getting to be a lot. We're not even getting that much. I don't know why I thought this was gonna be so easy. 3 seconds. We're done with you. Clearly. I mean, we was retaining salary and everything. All right, so we're gonna come back to these other players. We're gonna look at some first line sent. No results. Okay. So we wasn't gonna do that. All right. So apparently they don't just grow cheap first line centers on trees. Tarasenko. And they're so expensive. Don't want these guys for that price. That seems kind of pricey. It seems a little bit pricey. E8. How's the goal scoring look? 89, 88. Toffoli's pretty solid to scoring goals, it seems like. How's he fit? None of these guys fit on his team. And that's just the story of this game, though, it seems like. What the hand is we're being dealt. Let's go ahead and up it up. I really don't want to go 6 million. I'd like to not have to do that, but we really need a goal scorer here, I think. We got to get somebody that can put the puck in the back of the net. So, Gensel for 5.9. That would be a huge addition. Of course, he doesn't fit on any line. Nobody does in this team. But he's going to play for us. Yeah, and that's a future St. Louis Blue here. That'd be a massive addition to this offense. They're going to be over the cap. How much are they over the cap? A lot. A lot, apparently. I didn't think there was that bad cap-wise, though. I guess they are. So we're going to throw you on. I mean, this is a big trade. So we're going to have to go you on. We're going to throw you on. St. Louis will be over the league maximum salary cap. And that's just a start. Now, how much would they be willing to retain? They ain't gonna retain any of this, to be honest. But I'm kind of interested to see what the trade value is. I feel like we can send them stuff here, and they would, they're gonna say they're not gonna take it because of the salary cap retention. Question whether you looked at our trade block value. What you're asking us is just they just adds up the stuff. So that's not enough. They want more than a first and Orlovsky, and I understand that. That's Jake freaking Gensel. The trade value's there though. Totally unwilling to part ways. I always think that's so interesting in this game, how the trade value meter is like, I mean, we're doubling our meter. What's it there for? On the surface, your trade looks good, but we're not so keen on keeping. Okay, so I would do that. They would take 2 firsts and a first, 2 second. For Jake Gensel? Send it on over. What if we give you a third? Nah, they ain't going to do it, I don't think. I think they're going to take a lot more than that to retain the salary. But to retain the salary, is it worth it? I think it is. I think if they can retain that salary, it's huge for this team. I mean, obviously, we can move cap elsewhere. Let's go. Okay, 3 seconds. We paid a second for that retention. And sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you got to make that move. Now let's go ahead and see if we can find, and this is why it was so important, because now we're going to try to find a defenseman. There's got to be a D-man out there somewhere. And again, we're looking for a top unit, at least a top 4 guy, preferably a top line guy. I mean, that would be best case scenario. And we're going to have to go a little bit cheaper on the contract now because, again, we're really pressed against the cap. We're going to be able to move. Who am I thinking of? We're going to be able to move Verona, maybe. Verona could go a little bit. 4 million, still kind of pricey. But if we can move Verona, there ain't a lot of options. That's kind of the situation we're in here. Siegenthaler is an option. Bouchard's an option. Bouchard an offensive defenseman? What is Bouchard? What's Siegenthaler? Siegenthaler's a defensive. Oh, he's got some nice stats. Look at those stats. 91, 92, 92 on the defensive side. Oh, man. The thing is, he can't move the puck well. But if we put him with a guy that can move the puck well, those are some nice defensive stats. I think we got to try that. We gotta go for Siegenthaler. That was just too good to pass up on. And now the question is, can we send Verona their way? Because that'll open up the cap. He's got no place on this team. Do they want Verona? No, absolutely not. Clearly. That's okay, though, because they're going to take him. They're going to like it. We're running out of seconds. We're going to give him a late first for Siegenthaler, Verona, and the Devils accepted it. I feel like the Devils gave up a first. What did they give him? They gave us something like that for Siegenthaler? I don't remember now, but we're going to take a look at this team. I think, again, the top 6 is nasty right now. I don't know if we can do much better than this. I mean, you can put Gensel on that first unit with these guys. Oh yeah. Let me take some of that. Then there's Kyrou Buchnevich on a second unit. Is that the better option on line 2 as a question? Excellent passer compared to Buchnevich. I mean, they're about the same. Or compared to Kyrou, I should say. Pretty similar statistics there. Oh, yeah, but we're going to put... Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take the +5. The +5's nice. The +5 is very nice. And we have Hayes, Shen, Kyrou in a second unit. I like that. Again, we picked up a couple guys for the bottom 6. And really, now it's just how's Alexandrov going to do? And why is he our center when we have... Did we not pick up a center? I thought we did. Okay, so we need another... Yeah, we did. Reichel right there. Can he win draw? No. That's why he's playing center. That explains a lot. So we're about a center away. It would be nice to have a little bit more depth. Again, it'd be nice to bring an 83 overall or something of that nature down there. And then you have Siegenthaler, Parayko. Scandella, Falk. Falk's a two offensive defenseman, right? See, this is where things get wild because we got two defensive defensemen in the first unit. And Justin Falk needs to play up here, I think. He doesn't fit there. Justin Falk just doesn't fit on his team in general. That's difficult. That's a difficult thing to uphill, a difficult pill to swallow. He can play on the second unit with Krug, so that's good. The problem is then we have two guys on the bottom unit that do not fit well together, two defensive defensemen. And in that situation, I mean, I don't mind because one's Scandella, and we can move Scandella out the door. Let's see if we have anybody. Nicoletti. I forgot we saw Nicoletti as well. That would actually balance things out. So we still have a lot of cap to work with. I've heard all about Nicoletti. So Nicoletti can stay there again. There's Siegenthaler. He's got some wiggle room. We're going to go ahead and move. Who was it? It wasn't Nicoletti. Who was the other one? Scandella. We're going to go ahead and move Scandella, I think. Or do we move Letty? And Scandella wasn't fitting on that unit. It's one less player we have to trade for. So we'll get rid of Scandella. Even though he's a cheaper guy. Scandella's going to go. Who would like Nelson Scandella? See what I did there? This is why I'm a YouTuber, not a comedian. Whoa, look at the draft picks these guys got. A couple of them. Okay, let's talk. You want to give us a second? One of your 20. You got listen, Chicago, you got like 4. I mean, you don't even have time to get a snack there in the second round. You might as well send one out the door. I want a third though. We can't give up more than that. We're gonna give them. I mean, I understand where we're going this direction. They're really willing to go a 5th. We're really just cap dumping on this team, so I can't even be upset if we don't get anything back in return. They are not willing to do that, so we'll try a 5th. We're right on the doorstep, unless they just don't want to take the contract. I didn't read what it said. Probably should have. I think we should be good here. Send that? Yeah, okay, so there goes Scandella. Back with some cap space again. Again, we're kind of looking for a little depth, a little veteran leadership, if you will, for that bottom 6. And again, it'd be nice to hit that 83 range. I don't really see. Here's the thing. As I say, now that we have some cap space, it would be nice. We could possibly spend on a guy, but do you want to spend a lot of money on the bottom 6 guy? Not really. We're gonna give you about $2 million to work with here, and hopefully an 83 pops up. Oh, we got a lot of options, but there are a lot of really good options that are out of our pay grade, to say the very least. Bedard being one of those. Patrick Kane, not a bad option, but again, can't. Patrick Kane would have been a good pick. Oh, he's a playmaker. I mean, he's a nasty playmaker. Oh, but we can't have him. Dawson Mercer. Now, Dawson Mercer, playmaker. I don't know why I thought Dawson Mercer wasn't a playmaker. So Ryan Hartman's out there. He's a solid pickup potentially there. He wants to be on a 4th line. 1.7 milli. Who is downtown Connor Brown. Now, he's not a center. He fits everywhere, though. His scheme fits everywhere. I like that. I like that because he fits everywhere. And the thing is, Hartman knows he can play multiple positions, but he really can't win faceoffs anyway. And neither can Brown. I think we go with the guy that's got more versatility in Connor Brown. So if we have to slide him around a little bit, we can. Now, what would you like to give us? Or what would you like us to give you? You want Siegenthaler? You can have him. You want? Oh yeah. See, now this is where things get difficult because we already traded away all of our draft picks, and you don't want to give up no 1st round draft pick for Connor Brown. I don't think. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. But we can send some skaters out the door. Who would you like to have? We have a lot to choose from. A lot of good players. How do you feel about Kalynuk? Yeah, I think you guys want him, right, Edmonton? You said something about liking that guy. Oh, they did. We're gonna edit a roster since we changed them once already. Best AHL lines. And are we ready to play? Hey, we made some big additions. Jake Gensel, Jonas Siegenthaler. I mean, there's some definite change in the tone of how this hockey team's gonna look this season. It's trending in the up direction. Now the problem is we still need a center. I don't know if I want this guy playing center if we don't have to. Connor Brown's got to play. Can Connor Brown win draws? I already forget. No, he can't win draws. But we could potentially swap out Reichel and move him down here. Nah, he can't win draws either. We have anybody going faceoffs. Connor Brown's the better one at the faceoffs. We don't want to keep him down there if we don't have to. The Sunquist want to play on the bottom unit. I'd like to do that. I would like to try that. Again, possession is so important. And we have a guy that, I mean, he can win faceoffs, but he's not the greatest at him. Connor Brown playing center. I don't know how I feel about that one. He doesn't need to be a center. We're going to put Reichel. That's killer having nobody can win the draws. The possession game makes me a little nervous, but I do like what we have going with this defense right now. It isn't star-studded by any stretch. I mean, Cohen Preko's a good player. I mean, we got some names, but it isn't your Eric Carlsons or your Cale McCarrs of the world, but we don't need that. I think we'll be all right without that. So we have Big Bob, Cairo, Buchnevich, Gensel, and that's a nice power play. I like that. I like that a lot. As far as the penalty kill goes, Braden Shen, Sundquist, Segan, Prego, yeah, you go through defenseman out there. I like doing that. Let's play some hockey. As they say in America land, let's do that hockey. We want to go ahead, take things up to a little bit past Christmas, see how things are doing around Christmas time. Give this team a little bit of time, as always. Get the chemistry going, figure out their identity, and see what we can do from there. 3-4 in the preseason is not good. That is atrociously bad. Unless we've seen some sim engine stuff change with some more NHL players that play in the AHL, that was a bad preseason. Right now, 3-1 to start the regular season though, which isn't bad. 3-4 is not good though. Loss. 4 straight losses. St. Louis got to figure things out right now. Feeling like a 500 hockey club. And then again, it could have just been a cold spell. That happens. Big W there against the Colorado Avalanche, but you're going to lose 3 straight again. Yeah, we're feeling very 500-like. Anytime you see them reel off 3 in a row, then they reel off 3 losses in a row. And that's usually the trend they give you, even if they go on a little bit of a winning streak here. So we're going to have to be careful with this team. It looks like some adjustments are going to have to be made because, again, 13 and 13, 500 hockey club. This late into the season, I'm not a big fan of it. Not a big fan of it at all. We're going to have to make a big push here with the Blues, 17 and 16. Clearly playing 500 hockey. Clearly going to have to make another move. And in our case here, thankfully, we got Nick Leddy on the book still. We can make a little move there. 17 by 13, 30 points for Gensel, 30 points for Thomas. So the first line's playing pretty solid together. Second unit, 18 points for Shen, 15 points for Hayes. They shouldn't be this big of a negative. 15 points for Hayes, 23 points for Cairo. Does Kevin Hayes have a problem on this line? Maybe. As a power forward, potentially. 15 points. I'm playing 15 minutes a night. I mean, he's the weakest link on that line, it looks like. How's the plus minus? How's the giveaway thing? I mean, he's a power forward. He's going to have to play for this team. 17 giveaways, 22 takeaways. I mean, he's playing good defensively. And the other problem we're having again is, we're probably not winning faceoffs with anybody. Is anybody a positive faceoff guy? You got to win possession. Robert Thomas is, so that's good. I'm assuming Reichel's struggling at the department. Yeah, 42%. That's horrible. Somehow still +4 even with that faceoff percentage. 46% for Sundquist. -11 for Sammy Blais. And then Sundquist, and then Radish is playing atrocious. Radish is just, that was a bad addition. I was worried when we see the defensive stats if Radish was, a bit of a reach there. Connor Brown's been a good addition. Connor Brown, Kapanen, these guys playing some good hockey. I think what would be game-changing here, and we need to go game-changing. We're not just going bottom unit here. What would be game-changing here is if we, man, we changed that second unit on the defense. That was ugly. I can't believe that. Look at that. We need a defenseman, and I'd really like a center. Can we get both? I'd love to upgrade that center position. See if somebody out there fits that role a little bit better. I don't think they're going to let us search for a center, and they're not. I don't understand why that's not a thing in this game. We're going to go 85 plus, our favorite. Try to pick up a center. We might have a little bit of cap space. We'll see what we're working with here. Again, we're just down this road, though, so it's going to be tough to see if we can find anybody out there. But we need to do something. Something is better than nothing here. 3 million. Joe Pavelski. I'd like a Joe Pavelski. Joe Pavelski can do some of everything, except play defense apparently on this team. I don't know why he's a -7. Having a tough season. 43 points for Elias Lindholm. Having an outstanding season. A good playmaker, can shoot the puck, can play great defense, wins faceoffs. Elias Lindholm, how would you like to be a St. Louis Blue? We're just a smidge over the cap, but by the time we send somebody out the door, we should be good in that regard. The question is who? With the way, and this is where things get interesting, with the way Radish has been playing, I mean, do we just say that's it? You don't bench him, you might as well ship him out the door. We're going to ship him out the door. We're getting a little aggressive this time. But we can't afford to be losing these hockey games. So we're going to do that. We're going to give you a first-round draft pick for Lindholm, and we're going to give you that. And should we be conservative? Maybe a little bit. We're going to ask. I mean, this is probably a stretch, but we're going to do it just in case. No, they're not going to do it. Okay, let's do it without the second. They're still totally unwilling to part ways. Thankfully for you, Calgary, we have some solid prospects. We're trying to win right now. The future is bright. Well, it was bright, but it doesn't need to be anymore. More than 45 skitters in the limit or organization. So we're going to drop. Who do you want to give us? This guy will work. This guy will be great. I'm going to take that, Calgary. We're trying to win a cup over here. Oh, okay. Don't take it. I ain't won it anyway. I didn't. Let's try something else. Here, have a third. Okay, Calgary. I was kidding. I really wanted it. I really did. I was thinking maybe this time if you get, we give you another third. Yeah, yeah. Calgary, Calgary, Calgary. We still need a defenseman. We need a defenseman. We got to get Lindholm. We can get a good center. We have some prospects. We're going to have to give another first. How many firsts do we have left? I can't imagine a lot. We're going to give you this first. I don't want to do it. I'm reluctant, but we're getting an elite player in return. Trade accepted. Good best roster moves. And we need a defenseman. What are we editing? The NHL lines? Yeah. I don't know, though. I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right with the offense. It has to be all right. We can't make any further moves if we wanted to. Lindholm's going to come on in because we have to get a defenseman. And that's, the reason we say we can't make any further moves. So we bring in Hayes there. Hayes, Brown, Captain. And that said, that third line should be really good. It's the bottom line that we're worried about, which is what we was worried about before. But maybe we bring in one fresh face that helps things out because it could just be some bad luck playing with that edit back to edit lines. Hang on a second. What are we missing? Oh, no, best AHL rosters. How do you do that? Is that not the button anymore? That's not the button either. What's the button these days? They changed the button? Head coach preferred lines. There it is. Okay, so we'll go back to the NHL. And this is what I'm worried about because if we move these guys down here, which one's going to want it? Do we have two offensive defensemen here? No, but I felt like it. I feel like the defensive defenseman's the answer here, but it don't appear to be. So if we put Siegenthaler and Falk together, that'll work. And then we put Krug down in the last line. That could work. So we could do the defensive defenseman. We're just going to look for a cheaper defenseman. And hopefully that appears to work out here because we're struggling right now. Again, though, got the cap space. We're going to keep Krug. Nick Leddy's probably going to be out the door. So the nice thing is we're seeing the Blues with, again, that was tight against the cap, but they had some expendable players. So that's always nice to have there. I mean, you want to, if you're a Blues fan, that's what you want to see. You want to see them use your cap. Obviously, you want to get more players if possible. Would you rather be up against the cap with players that are average than not up against the cap and not spending on anybody? So I understand that. I respect it. Devin Tays is $4 million. Are we going to get crazy? Oh, yeah, we're about to get crazy. It's about to get real crazy up in here. I don't think we can trade for this one. I think we're swinging for the wrong fences in a big way. But, we said but. There's always a chance, right? There's always a chance. We ain't making any more moves after this one. Let me give you Nick Leddy. I knew you guys wanted him. I mean, we're not even going to mess around. How many first-round draft picks we got left? There's one. They're not worth a lot. There's one. That's not worth a lot. I want you to look past that. Go ahead and take that. Totally unwilling. Do we have any prospects? This is us swinging and barking up the wrong tree in every regard. But when you're a 500 hockey club, you have to make the big moves, the big splashes. You got to do something to propel this hockey team further. And that's exactly what we're trying to do right now. Let's give you the Deaninator. Totally unwilling. We're still in the wrong vicinity. We're not even in the same league right now as these guys. And I understand it. I wouldn't be shipping their 90 overall out the door like that real quick. I'd like you guys to consider it, though, for the sake of the St. Louis Blues. I mean, come on. We're just what? It's just a little interdivision rival. You want to help a little interdivision rival out like that? Come on, Colorado. That's it. That was every asset we had. And Devin Tays is just too much. Let's see what else we can work with. Rasmus Anderson, Marino. Anderson's value is a little lower. Pesci's a nice option as well. How much is his? It's slightly lower. How's Pesci looking on the season? 8 points. Not the biggest point produced. This gives you a defensive defenseman. Man, is he disgusting defensively. I mean, we need that. With the way that defensive line's playing, let's try it. I don't know. Oh, it would have been nice if it saved all of our picks. We're going to try the same thing once again. Don't have much of an option here. We're just going to throw everything at the door for these guys. We got to try, though. You miss every shot you don't take, they told me. That's what I've been told. That's the legend, at least. So Nick Leddy, a player they don't want. We may have to ship Nick Leddy out the door to another team. That might make things work a little bit smoother here. We might ship Nick Leddy out to them without telling them that we want this player, and they might be less difficult about it, to be honest. I don't know. I don't think they have the cap space. Totally unwilling, as expected. Yeah, let's do it to do that. Let's move Nick Leddy real quick before we keep messing around. Oh, we dropped the wrong pick. Because he's definitely going to be the guy that goes out the door. It's the only way we're making any of this work. going forward. Where's Nicoletti? There he is. Who wants Letty? Edmonton does. They're over the cap. Florida does. They're not over the cap. Go ahead, Florida. I mean, it'd be nice if we can get a decent pick in return from you guys, because I don't know if you heard, but we're trying to make a pretty big move here. 45 skate organization limit. Florida, I don't feel like dealing with it. I'll be honest. Let's look for New Jersey. I mean, they got some cap space after we took their player earlier. Devils got a pretty good draft pick coming in. Let's give you the third. Third, you got Nick Letty. Thank you, New Jersey, for your services. I appreciate you. We're gonna go to best GM roster moves because we want to not have them mess with all of our lines. And it's gonna be, what is that, the fourth line? Who's scratched? You can play for now. You're just here for a minute. Who was we talking to? Was it Carolina? Carolina. What you got, Carolina? Let's go back to Pesci. I was just thinking Carolina. We're out of your division, not even out of your conference. I mean, hook a team up. Hook a team up. Come on. Think about it. We do it for you, right? Remember that one time? Remember that one time we scratched your back? I think you gotta scratch it back. Again, trying not to even play here. We're just gonna give you, here's two players there. Maybe over the skate organization limit. That's what makes things a little difficult, because then we have to ask for something in return. But again, you can always go for nothing, as long as they're okay with that. We're gonna do this, and this. We're gonna go ahead and hopefully only have to ask for one player in return, because that's where things will get difficult. If not, we'll ask for you. That'll do. Go ahead and take that, Carolina. All right. Don't take it. You know what? That's fine. We didn't even want a good player. Who wants a good player in today's league? Let me give you a second. You can chew over it. They're totally unwilling. So we're still going too expensive. Pesci, Chikrin. We have to go this direction. Anderson? Rasmus type? How's he looking? Not as good defensively, but he's a better. He wants to be on the first line, so that's a good plus. I don't know where I just feel like we're giving up so much, and we're definitely overdoing a trade meter. So it makes me, wait, another second laying around. We had 2 seconds laying around. It makes me wonder what it's going to take to get one of these players, because look how much we're offering. They took Rasmus Anderson's trade. Okay, we didn't have to add the prospects on. Big addition for the Calgary Flames. Now the question is, can we turn that addition into some playoff success? Because we are at this point in time virtually all in. Parayko, Siegenthaler, Falk, you're done. To put it very, very, very lightly, you've been voted off the island. You no longer be playing. Was it Falk? Was that who he was moving? I don't remember now. I don't want to see that. Now this is the thing. If the first line's playing so well, you don't really want to move it if you don't have to. Falk on the last unit, though, does concern me. I think what we said we was going to do was move. See, I don't want to do that, though. I don't know what we was thinking when we said that. I think we was talking about moving Krug up here. He didn't do it. He didn't promote a guy who played with a -17. I'm sorry. I apologize for thinking that was a good idea at the beginning. I completely take that back. The trade was made, though, now, so we're going to have to stick with it. But we need a vast improvement. We need a very, very big improvement. I think we can do it. I think we can take this through trade deadline, and at the end of the day, if we have to, and I hope we don't have to, but if we have to, we can upgrade a little bit on that bottom line. That's about all we have the capital to do. I mean, we traded away the entire future for this team, and they're a 500 hockey team. At that point, I don't know what more we can do. The first line's playing all right. I mean, when that second unit's playing like it is, you're kind of tied. You're kind of tied. And again, we're seeing this team struggle to win hockey games. Sometimes it takes a little bit to piece them together, but it feels very much like a 500 hockey club. It feels like we can't get out of this hole. We're going to keep the goaltender we have, obviously, 25 and 26. But there's got to be some moves to be made, or there's got to be some trades to be had or something. But at 500, it's going to take a lot. 28 and 31. This team has to go absolutely off to end the season, and it's very unlikely. Lindholm's a point per game player. I mean, we got that going for us. That's nice. That's all we got going for us, though. +5, +11. I mean, the first line's playing good. First line's playing great together. Second line, it's improving. It's improving a lot with Lindholm, actually. Kyrie could be a little bit better. He's got 42 points. He's definitely the weakness of the line. But can we afford to change that? We really can't. We really can't. He's going to have to ride that out. because we don't have anybody that can really substitute and play there. Connor Brown's now -8. Kevin Hayes is a -19. Kevin Hayes is a black hole. Kevin Hayes is not working. We moved him to the third line, not working. We're about to move him to the fourth line. I can't believe we're about to move an 85 overall to the fourth line, but he's just playing atrociously. We're going to have to find another center. Kevin Hayes is going to have to play the fourth line. And that's going to be the last move we can make. Because we're literally out of draft capital and player capital in general here. So Kevin Hayes is going to have to go. We're going to go, again, 80, maybe an 82 plus. I mean, it is the second, third line, so it ain't huge. We need a guy that can win some faceoffs. That's huge. And that's kind of the big, difficult problem we're having with this team down the middle. Is a lot of these guys can't win the draws, but not as expected at the fourth line. So hopefully we can make this work. Let's go to the 83 range. We need a center. Dawson Mercer's expensive. I thought Dawson Mercer's expensive. Can he not win draws? Is that what it was? Yeah, he can't win draws. Those are some bad face-off ratings. We're not going to mess around. We're going to look straight for the face-offs here. Oh, I know what it was. It wasn't a two-way forward. That's what was killing us. Not a lot of options. Not a lot of options. Blake Wheeler, but Blake Wheeler can't take draws. There's Lundell. Lundell's a -9, but it's a Florida Panthers team. Are we taking a chance? Are we going to take a chance on Lundell? That seems like a dumb idea, but we got to try something. 55 I mean, he's playing pretty good defensively. 55 takeaway. Let's take a chance on Lundell. Florida could just be having a tough time of things, kind of like we are. Maybe a little change of scenery would help this guy out a little bit. Hopefully. That is what we're counting on here. Do we have any picks, actually? I thought we had a second. We do have a second. We have a third. You're going to take that. Yeah, no, we're not even in this vicinity still. We're so far away from being able to afford play. We're going to have to go cheaper than this. I was hoping we didn't have to, but I think we have to. I forgot how much we depleted our team for. Oh, we made some big trades. Some huge trades. And we're so far away still. Because we have sold the entire farm system of the St. Louis Blues. I mean, literally, they ain't got a second round pick to lay work with. They ain't got a third. They're about to have no thirds. They're going to send them 2/3. That's going to go out the door. That nothing's doing. You know what they say? Sometimes you have to take. Oh, I was going to say you have to take what you can get, but we ain't taking that. Is there something else we can take? Anything other than that? I thought that was really not the answer. That was not it at all. We might have to go. Honestly, we have to go to an 81. An 81, or I don't think we have the cap. We might have the cap. I don't think we do, though. What kind of cap space we got? If we go to 1.5, salary cap available. No, we have absolutely no zero cap at all. So that's not much of an option here. And players are expensive. We have Connor Brown, we have Blake Wheeler, we have Tatar. We have to do it. We really got to do it. We really got to. No, well, let's look at the 81s. We are in full panic mode over here in St. Louis. We don't know what to do with any of these players. We just know that we want to win a Stanley Cup, and we want to right now. And he's not really picking up what we're putting down here. We need a center. Sunquist is us. We was going to look at Krebs. Krebs is a playmaker. That was a problem there. Nice, -27 Marchenko. I'm glad we didn't do that option. Byfield's a -10. He is a power forward. And LA is bad. We might take a chance on Byfield. Well, no, we won't. He's expensive as well. We might have taken a chance on Krebs. -4. We're going to try it. We don't often go playmaker on the bottom 6. He does have some solid defensive stats, though. We're mid-80s there. And we're a desperate team doing desperate things right now. We're going to send you 3rd round picks for Krebs. Go ahead and take that. Thank you. I'm afraid. I'm really afraid what's happening right now. I just can't believe this is a solid team coming out. And we pick up Jake Gensel. Jake freaking Gensel. Who was struggling here? Was it Sunquist? I mean, it was Kevin Hayes was struggling. Sammy Blaze struggling a lot too. So Blaze out. Blaze gone. All right, we're going to pick up, put in Krebs. We're going to move you here. We're going to move you here. And we're going to have to go from there. Don't have to know what other direction we can go in. Looking at the team in general. Just to check. I mean, we might be terrible on a power play or something and not know about it. We are 18% on the power play, which is average, 81% on the penalty. I mean, it's not terrible. We're sitting at average. We're not below average. We're middle of the pack. which is exactly what this hockey team is it's middle of the pack right now. They need to go on a win streak, and they need to go on a serious win streak to make it into the playoffs. It is, I mean, it's a relatively weaker division, it looks like. I mean, we're not that far out of a playoff spot. We're not that far out of a playoff spot at all. But we can just string some wins together. Overtime loss there. Breaking news. That's all right. We ain't worried about no breaking news. Win against the Ducks. Loss against the Avalanche. Are we done playing the Avalanche? Can we be done with those guys? Thank you. Done with the Wild, too, because we can't beat them. And the Vegas Golden Knights. 33. We're not going to make it. They'd have to win out. They'd have to win out and go on some miraculous run. And here we go. Here's the win streak. Calgary. Carolina's going to drop with the Carolina. Going to be the Seattle Kraken. And they are just a little too late. I mean, they hit the heater right at the end of the season, and they're going to end up missing playoffs by 4 points. They need to win 2 more games. It was too little too late for the St. Louis Blues. They had a chance to make some noise. They had a chance to potentially make the playoffs, but instead it felt like one of them teams that just went all in just to come up a little bit short. 84 points for Lindholm, 83 for Buchnevich. I mean, the team put up points offensively. Kevin Hayes finished a minus 24, not bad. Justin Falk, the defenseman, I think we've seen this in the past. Like Justin Falk, Torrey Krug, Florida Breeze, and they seem up atrociously. I mean, there was a minus 30 and minus 23. We took Blais out of the lineup. That helped a little bit probably, but you can't overcome that bad of defense. It doesn't matter. I mean, the goaltending was 907. Binnington played solid. I mean, that's the best you can ask for out of your average goaltending there. Nonetheless, St. Louis, we did what we couldn't have went any more all in. Besides maybe changing up the coach. Maybe we change up the coach next time. Love to hear y'all's thoughts. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next time.